Hello. Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to go through um, working with a blog page. Now, in previous versions of our framework, we used to have a specific blog template, and we no longer do that. And so this tutorial is really showing you how it works within our current version of our framework. Okay, so the blog layout. It used to be a blog template. We no longer do that. We now have it set as a minimized layout by default. It's actually a minimized two column with the sidebar on the right hand side. And I'm going to show you how to go and configure this page. It's pretty easy. Okay. What we do is when you go to pages, all pages, you can choose your layout here. Funny enough, the timing couldn't have been better, I guess, that we had finished this version of the framework, because just recently with I think it's 4.22 of the WordPress system, they went and changed it so that if you had a page that was assigned for blog items, that you couldn't assign a page template. Well, that doesn't work for everybody. So it just so happened that this version of the framework solves that. Okay, so we currently are using the two column right minimized layout, and you're using the blog settings here. Now, the blog settings, you can choose between a set of rows, or the grid format as we currently see here. So this is sort of a grid format, right? And then with the grid format, you can choose a number of different column settings, or this is called the timeline. So this is basically stacked side by side. And then with the grid, you can choose to lead with a full post or not. Okay. Then there are a number of different features down here. I'm not going to go into specifically what each one does. You can play with them. We may or may not add more features here, so that would make the video sort of not up to date if I start to go specifically into each one of these things. And I mean, you can go in and play with them to your heart's content. Okay, but how do we change the layout itself for this? Well, let's go check out the layout editor. All right. Okay, so it is using the minimize 2R or 2 right. I think we just called it 2R because on smaller displays here, if we use 2 right, there's some wrapping going on. But in any case, so you see 2R, it means the 2 column right, 2L, 2 column left. That's where we have the sidebar on the right hand side here. So we're going to hit edit, and you're going to see here that this is what we've got. We've got our content region, which is where the posts are displayed. And then we've got our sidebar over on the right hand side. Now, keep in mind that when you go to make any changes to any one of these layouts, any other pages that are assigned to this layout will have the same, will be using the new changes to this layout. So you have to really be cognizant of this. So in this particular layout that we've installed here, we have defined that the right sidebar has these widgets in it. So maybe you wanted to have these widgets for all of your other pages, and for the blog page you want to have something differently. Well, you could do two things. Okay, you could go to the blog layout itself, and just choose a different layout, or you can say, hey, you know what, I really want all my pages that are using this layout to use this other sidebar. So we could do that. We could change the sidebar, because right now the default for this particular layout is to use the right sidebar. But we could also say, you know what, use the left sidebar over here. I mean, it gets a little confusing because it says left sidebar because that's the name of the sidebar when you go over to appearance and then widgets. Okay, but it's going to be displayed on the right, but it's called, the name of it is called left. And so when you do that, let's just hit save. Here we go. Scroll up. You're going to find that that's the sidebar called left that is showing up here on the right now. So that might not really be what we want to do. If we go and hit save, one of the things is we can go and check to see which pages are assigned to this layout. It looks like just the blog page. So in this sort of situation, it's probably not a bad idea if you want to go and change the sidebar, or what widgets are displayed in that sidebar. You could go and do that. But maybe we want to make a copy of this layout. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we hit the copy button. So in this situation here, we would then hit edit, and I'm going to change the word copy to blog. Okay, and you know, maybe I don't want the page title up at the top, and you know what? Maybe I want to use a different sidebar, but I don't have a sidebar yet that I want to use. So I'm going to hit save. Okay, and I'm going to go to appearance and then add sidebar. Okay, so there we go, and then we're going to go and follow the link there. We're going to find that there's a new sidebar right over here called blog widget area. And so what did we use on the right sidebar? Recent posts, categories. You know what? Let's go and throw recent posts, just like we see here. And what else do we want to use? Let's use the categories. That's good for blog. But you know what? We probably also want to just we should probably have a menu on there for other pages. Okay, so we're going to give this a menu. We're going to say it's going to be primary vertical. It's going to be the side menu that we select. Everything else there are good defaults. We're going to hit save. Okay, so let's go back to our layout editor, which is down over here. Find this, the blog. I mean, we don't need to call it minimize 2. We could just call it blog layout. Hit save. It just might make that a little bit clearer if you want to. And maybe we'll change this sidebar now to the right. So what we've got is the recent post, category widget, and custom menu widget. Okay, we've done that, and we reload. And what are we going to find here? Recent post categories. Oh, you know what we didn't do? This is always good. Hey, why didn't that work? Well, this is good troubleshooting. Why didn't that work? Do you know? Well, because we haven't applied this layout, this brand new layout, to the blog page yet. And we can do that either by going here and hitting save, or we can go to the pages, all pages, and visually selecting the blog layout. So here again, I'll show you where that is. Blog layout, and where did the blog layout? Right here, and then hit update. Or really great new feature here with this layout editor is that you could, if you wanted to, blog alphabetically now. You could apply this layout to a whole bunch of pages all at once. Just hit save and it's done. Okay. So, but we're just going to do it for the blog page now. Now, if we reload, what happens? Well, the page title area goes away, and we've got just that new sidebar that we had shown, and yeah, it's this new layout. Looks great, doesn't it? So yeah, that's how you go and work with the blog page and the blog layout. One thing to also note with regards to the blog, if you go to Theme Framework, under Control Panel, you do need to make sure that one page is selected as your blog. Okay, so that's what this is all about here. So this is usually set up by default, but if you are applying this theme to a site that was pre-existing, maybe we didn't set this up for you. Maybe it was something that you need to do. So in order for the post to be displayed on a particular page, that is what this is for. Okay, so anyways, hope you find that helpful.